Well, g'day everyone, hello and welcome. I'm Mark, your host, and I'd just like to thank everyone for being here. It's a little bit cool in my part of the world. I'm here in beautiful Queensland, Australia. It's a bit chilly, it's down to 13 degrees Celsius. For us Queenslanders, that's pretty cold. But anyway, we're striving on, we're marching on. In the shed, it's not too bad. As you can see, I've got the roller doors closed. I've only got one open. And the breeze, the wind that we had earlier today has died down, so it's not so bad now. But I'd just like to go into the chat and give a little shout out to who's in the chat here. And we've got George, we've got myself, g'day. Bill Baggins, g'day Bill. Emma, Dan Shed. Who else we got in here? Got a few other stragglers who I've probably missed. There's 13 of you watching. Thanks everyone for tuning in. All the new subscribers. The subscriber count's going up rather quickly actually, and very surprising. One particular video is just going absolutely bonza, just out of sight, out of mind. I just can't believe it. And that's from not my doing. The video's been up for over a year, and yeah, so I'm really surprised about that. But anyway, getting on to what's been happening in the shed. Dogface, g'day Simon, how are you? Thanks for being here, mate. A little bit, not a lot. A little bit, not a lot. Some of you know that feeling. We've had some other more pressing things here at home to do with my wife and her work. G'day Peter. Oh, yes, I did see you earlier. Sorry mate, I forgot you. Yep, Pete's here. So all the crew's coming in and all the new subscribers, g'day. Welcome, welcome. Right, in the background, what I have been working on though is the tender behind me there. And in particular the brake shaft. So we'll just flick over to that view now. Let's bring that down there and we'll bring this up here. So that's the tender there, or tender up on some sawhorses. We're working, for those of you who are new here and you haven't seen what we're doing, or if you did miss the intro, I'm doing a ground up, my wife and I doing a ground up restoration of a 1926 Fowler, John Fowler and Co. steam roller. The steam roller was, like I said, was built in 1926. We've currently been working on this for the last 6 years, and so far it's been a bit of a more than a work in progress. It's been quite tedious at times, but also quite rewarding, finding out information, discovering that there's still drawings available for something like this. It's quite amazing. However, there are some details that that I haven't been able to get, and that's particular information on when this, the details about when it was built. There's such a thing called a build sheet, and it's a handwritten ledger where the customer requests certain things for their particular item. Not very much unlike a lot of earth-moving equipment are today. So we'll just go on to the tender here. This is the side of the tender, and one of the things I have been working on is the brake shaft. The brake shaft was well and truly stuck, and it also had been removed. Parts of it had been removed. The brake shaft sat on the side there, which I tell you what, we'll jump back to me. It's all about me. And no, I won't. Hang on, I'll switch cameras. Go to this one here. I'll get my act together. Flick over to this camera here, and that's the brake shaft sitting in the lathe. We're going to give it, grab a bit of sandpaper soon and give it a clean up. It took a bit of getting out, but surprisingly not that much getting out. And I'd like to thank the people in the Heritage Steam Restorers forum chat that gave me some tips and clues on how to get this thing out. That's a group on Facebook dedicated to restoring heritage equipment like this. So they were a big help. So I'll just grab one of the parts and show you exactly it's probably better. So this is the brake lever on the left-hand side. On this particular engine, it has two. It has one on the left-hand side, one on the right-hand side. So essentially, another bracket goes on here with a big wooden block, and that rubs against the inside of the wheel, which stops the roller. Not that you really need, brakes, but they've got them, and they do work pretty effectively. This particular model has two, one on each side, as I explained, and as you can see, at some stage in its life, this was gas axed off, and which is unfortunate, but it's not beyond the realms of remanufacture. We do have a drawing for this particular engine or this particular model, and this can easily be cleaned up and a new piece made and welded on. So that's that side. The other side, I tell you what, we'll go over to, let's change cameras here. We'll go to this one and we'll go for a walk down to the tender. Now I don't have a little laser pointer, but I got my finger. Now I'm away, obviously, from the computer. So that part I was just holding up goes here. There's a bracket that bolts on here for the actual brake handle, which is quite long, so you can wind on the brakes. And on the other side, there's another short lever. That's this one here. Can you see that all right? Yeah, there we go. That's the other one. It's a lot shorter. And it only applies the brake on the right-hand side for this particular case, and both sides. The shaft, let's do a cook's tour here. For those of you who suffer from motion sickness, just stay steady. So there's a tiny little hole there to put oil in, and over the years that hasn't been oiled, or well, it obviously hasn't been oiled because it's sat out in the weather, and water obviously got in there and has caused rust, and it did make it difficult, a little bit difficult to get out, but we managed to do it. The tender has suffered from cancer or rust, as you can see here. We have cut out a section so we could clean it out, and I'm just getting a little bit of echo from the phone here, but hopefully that's not coming through on the audio. These four bolts here, they are for mounting what they call a scarifier. Now, a scarifier will dig tines into the ground and dig it up so you can, get into hard stuff and get it out the way and all that sort of stuff. A lot of steamrollers were fitted with scarifiers. However, I've never seen any photos of this particular steamroller with it fitted, although it did come with all the stuff. There's a bracing piece that goes down the side and so on. Right, so I'll just get the door open, make it easier. Electric doors, don't you love them? We'll let that get out the way. And we'll come in from this side. You really can't see that much because it's pretty dark. I need another light to show you. But I cut this out the other day. This was fairly rusty. Here's some of the bits there. So it is pretty rusty. I'm not expecting miracles. Like I said, this thing sat out in the open for 50 years. So it will require a lot of work. This is yet to be sandblasted, so I know exactly what we're getting into. Righto. Now, a recommendation. Those of you with a steamroller or old English equipment that have Whitworth threads on them, or Whitworth nuts and bolts, this is well worth an investment. I'll get a close up. This here is a Whitworth socket set. You can still buy it. I've had this about 12 months now or something like that. Well worth whatever I paid for it. I don't know, 50, 60, 70 bucks, 80 bucks, I don't know. Standard sizes for Whitworth, an adapter, a little breaker bar, nice ratchet. This is very handy, and working on the tender or anything to do with the roller or any equipment that's made in England with pre-war nuts or Whitworth or anything like that, this is the way to go. You need to buy yourself one of those. Right, steel. These are going to be the new pins for here, for the planetary gears. This is 4140. It's probably overkill, but that's what was on offer to me, so it was free of charge, so to speak. Right, getting on to the shaft. This is the actual shaft that came out of the tender, and as you can see, it's a little bit rusty. However, you know, it wasn't as bad as what I thought it would be. We do have, I just done it in the buff before, and the interesting thing is, I'll get in close here, if we can see it on the, just hold that there, yep, back better. You can see the machine marks, and of course those machine marks were there, are there from when it was made back in 1926, and I've actually found quite a bit of that. A bit like this key here that came out. This key, you can see a number 4 stamped into it, and what I've found on dismantling this engine is that pretty well all the components are numbered in some way or other. So when you go to put them back on, you can't mismatch. They just all go back the same way. So this shaft is going to get a bit of a clean up. We'll flick over to the other camera soon, and I'll do a bit of cleaning up, and I'll put this. That breeze is back again, so I'm going to close this door here. It's probably the best. Oop. There we go. No, come on. We'll just got it sitting on the drawer press at the moment. I will close that door, it's a bit cool. Those of you can get interested in watching an automatic door close. Unfortunately, it's just in the way. It's a bit of a bugger. How about we do this? Ooh, there we go. No, it's still in the way. Anyway, that'll do. We'll switch views here. Nightbot, g'day. Yeah, Nightbot's in the chat to keep an eye on you guys, seeing you guys get out of control a bit. No, you don't. Seriously. That's a link. If anyone's new here, you haven't seen this before, that's a link to my channel. And we'll go back over here. We'll drop that down. Way to go, Dan. That's perfect, man. Yep. Whitworth spanners. You can't go wrong. You really can't. Righto. Have I missed anything? I'm just going to go back through the... Yeah. Was that the one at... so just here, Dan, was that the one at Timbertown? I would imagine it would be, seeing you put a photo of that. Yeah, they can be, because mainly they've been on there since they were made, and they've never been taken off. Righto. So where was I? So that's pretty well as much as I've done this week. just with other commitments, work. For those of you, once again, who are new here, I work a full-time job, like most of us. And it's good to get in and do a little bit of work every so often. This is just a hobby. As much as I want to spend a lot of time on it, I don't always. And other, life has its ups and downs, and we all got to deal with that. So in saying that, we might flick over to the lathe here. As you can see, my foot in the corner, and we'll just give that a bit of a polish up live on air here. Let's go get some sandpaper, which I'm not totally prepared for. Right, in the meantime, now to the left of what you've just seen is the boiler's over to your left. A lot of the bits and pieces are all here in the shed with me. A lot of this stuff we have cleaned and prepped and sandblasted. We also have some other parts that need to be worked on, and currently I'm also having both rough ends. Oh yeah, that'll do. Currently I'm having the cylinder drains, or cylinder cocks, whatever you want to call them, for the roller. They're currently being machined by someone else. Even though I do have the equipment here, sometimes it's easier to send stuff out and get it done. One of the gentlemen in our club, he's retired, and he quite enjoys doing it, and he does great work too. So yeah, the noise will be a little bit loud, not too crazy. So just bear in mind, it will get a little bit loud. So what I'm using is a 60 grade or a 600 grade sandpaper. It's an old sanding belt. Here we go. It's still got quite a bit of life left in it. You will see this wobble a little bit on the tailstock end, but for what we're doing, it's not going to be too bad. So we'll just give it a run. Would help if you're in gear. Whoa. That's a bit fast. It's probably a bit slow. Right, so 300 RPM should be nice. Very short period of time, you can see that I'm starting to get a bit of a shine on it already, which I'm really happy with. Now there is a little bit of a wobble in this shaft, but for the amount that it actually moves, which is not very much, I'm not going to worry about. get the lathe file and let's do the end here. And we'll take a closer look at that. I'll grab the, swing the other, I'll get the mobile phone. We'll take a closer look. And that's the one I want there. And right, so once again, we're just about to pick up the phone and move it, so it'll be a little bit wobbly. And I'll grab my glasses. Woohoo! Glasses on. Yeah, we're all over the place. Hit the E-stop just in case. Now, as you can see, the lathe tool marks here. Fairly rough finish, but of course, this part is in the tube and it doesn't need to be super smooth. There is a smoother finish up towards the chuck here. Let's take that out again. A little bit rough, you can see the pitting from where the water's got in and sat, but it hasn't done too much real damage, so I'll probably just end up wire buffing this and that'll be it. As you can see, it's fair length, it's taken up the whole length of the lathe. Virtually, that's probably the longest bit of, not quite the longest bit of steel I've had in the lathe, but it's going fairly close. And there's a hole, that hole there's for the split pin to go through. No, it's looking pretty good. It doesn't, once again, it doesn't have to be perfect, you know, a ground finish or anything like that. It's more than sufficient to do, oh, excuse me, I got the hiccups, to do the job. I'll give that a little bit more clean up. I'll do that off camera. Certainly showed you enough now to give you an idea of what's going on. And there we go. It's a good view. So there's a bit happening in terms of, you know, progress on the roller in terms of sometimes a lot will happen. Oh God, this bloody thing. No. Crazy. Sometimes a lot will happen, other times not much will happen, and that's just part of life. And that's the way it is. So we'll bring up the... This. Right, there's a few new channels I've watched when I'm not working here or at work. I do manage to sit down and watch a bit of YouTube, maybe a little bit too much. There's some great channels out there for people who are doing stuff in their sheds like this on a lot of subjects. G'day, Becky. Becky's Fishing Adventures. You make me laugh, man. Whenever you say that, you remind me of the guy from The Truman Show. He's in the bath watching the program. So, cheers, buddy. If that works for you, I really do appreciate the support. Yeah, man, that's excellent. That's great. Where was I? Have no idea, Bill. It's just a beanie. Keeps my head warm. You know, it's got the Canadian flag on it. SEMEX, whatever that is. Somebody Google it, find out. It doesn't matter. Keeps the head warm. That's all that counts. Now, I was going to share a file. Share screen. Yeah. No, I've got to get the file up first. And that's a bit of a pain in the bum. I should have been better prepared. Let's get that out of the way. And the file I want to show is right here. Yes, I need to get a bit more organised. What I was going to show you is I think I've got it. As soon as it opens it up, there we go. Hopefully nobody's disappeared. Here I am, back again. Share screen. Window. There we go. So if what happens now? Hopefully it won't go away completely. Right, let's get rid of these other ones. So what you're looking at there, hopefully that's going to show on your screen nicely, is the drawing for the brake gear. Let's get rid of these things. Now this is the official drawing. This is one of the copies of the official drawing, or the copy of the original drawing, and it shows the brake tube and the shaft and all that sort of great detail. The piece that I need to make for the lever, and we'll zoom in here. Now just bear with me folks while I get this sorted. And I'll just wait for that to show on screen, which it is there. So this is the piece . Yes, Peter, that's correct. It's a proper drawing done by hand, as with all things back in the day. And these drawings are absolutely terrific. Some of them are in really good condition, like this one, and others are in not so good condition. However, at least we got a copy of it. Look, you don't need the original drawings or copy of the original drawings when you've got the article or the item in front of you. However, it really does help, especially when you know, a piece has been chopped off, like you can see here. You can clearly see the eyelet that's been chopped off, and that's basically what I'm going to have to do, is make a new one. I'll have to trim that lever back a little bit to a particular measurement, and then make the new one up and get it to fit the right size, you know, get it to the right measurement. And we've got all these measurements here in front of us. You know, we've got the centre distances, 1'3", all that sort of stuff. We've got a top view, we've got a side view, and an end view. It's just perfect. All the information that you need is there to get things done, or to remanufacture what's been missing. So what goes in there? Right. So let's just zoom out a little bit, and we'll go to this detail here. This will be the easiest thing to do. So this is showing the back end of the roller, and as you can see, in hidden detail there, which is a dotted line. Come on. Oh. There we go. The dotted line, you can see how the handle is on the left-hand side. That's where that lever is of the engine. So we're looking at the right-hand side and beautiful line drawing, beautiful drawing here, showing all the detail you need with a lot of measurements, what size bolts, all that sort of stuff. How the brake shoe is mounted, as you can see there, which rubs on the inside of the wheel. Just a fantastic bit of work, and this is one of the clearest drawings that I've got for this engine, and it's a big help, that's for sure. So with all this detail, we can easily remanufacture the piece that's missing. Nightbot dropped in again to say hello and share the link to the YouTube channel. If those of you who are new here and you haven't been here before, you can click on that link, it'll take you to the channel. Yeah, so once again, these drawings are invaluable, and they just show tremendous amount of detail. In fact, we might just bring up another drawing, a very similar one, and I'll stop sharing that. I'm back on screen again, and I'll just pop myself down out the way here and bring up another drawing. When everything's in the cloud. It's not really... Yeah, let's find something a bit different. Probably a general arrangement, if I haven't shown it before, would be a good way to go. Yeah, general arrangement, that's going to be the one to look at. I think I have shown this one before, but anyway. Yeah, I think, I don't think we have to be too worried about AI, but a lot of people will be. Right, so what we're looking at here is a general arrangement drawing of the roller. Once again, a really nice drawing, giving us overall heights of the canopy, height from the road, height from the road to the top of the chimney, very most important. And that's one thing, when we got this shed built, we wanted to make sure that the roller would fit in here with canopy on and chimney on. There's no point taking the damn thing off and not being able to get the engine in here. It's pretty clear on the screen. There's a bunch of other information on here too, or to do with the canopy, how the the levers for the regulator, cylinder drains, and all that sort of stuff is all set up. And in fact, to answer a question Emma posted, I might have that information. I don't think that lever that runs in front of the cylinders is supposed to touch the covers. So you might have something going on there, Emma, that you might have to address. There it is. There's a lot of these drawings have a tremendous amount of detail, and sometimes you need to at least look at them, more than once to figure things out, where things should be, how it should be. Like, for instance, this detail here. Now this right in front of us, let's just let you guys play catch up there on the screen. We're looking at the blowdown valve, and instead of being mounted straight up and down, it's actually cocked over to the side, which is interesting. I wonder why they did that. No particular. Oh, obviously to make it easier to get to the handle, so you can blow the boiler down. That would be the obvious reason. Now that's something I haven't seen on any other engine, and even with this one, when it was originally, it wasn't mounted where it's shown on this drawing because of the stiffening bar for the scarifier. However, the blowdown for this engine was mounted at the back, on the back head, below the foot plate, so it was out of sight, out of mind. Yeah, so that's interesting. We'll have to see what happens when I mount that back on, whether I'm going to have to do that, which I probably will have to, actually, to tell you the truth. That's interesting. There you go. Something, you learn something new every day. So we'll stop sharing that. We'll show, no, I'm back on screen again. We'll show one more, one more drawing of interest. The other good drawing that I got, there's a number of them, is the boiler drawing. Absolutely, just perfect. Gives you everything that you need. So this is a general overview, and the main thing is that when I got these, I also got them scanned down at Officeworks and got them in a digital format. That's how I can show you these quite easily. It really just makes the world of difference having a drawing. You can see exactly how it was manufactured, any other details, all that sort of stuff. This is gold. You know, it's worth its weight in gold, that's for sure. It's just fantastic. And you can zoom in, it's quite clear, you can zoom in and see a lot of the details. What a lot of people probably don't know about some of these boilers, or most of the boilers on steamrollers and traction engines. Not so much steam locomotives, but on the smaller engines. The tubes are slightly elevated. This is to help the flow of flue gases and heat. Well, that's the theory anyway. Whether it does actually make any difference or not is another story. But you can see a distinct rise in tube elevation there from one end to the other. And the other interesting thing is that these guys never did anything in round figures. You know, as you can see, if you can't make it out, you can. You know, the length between the tube plates is 3'9"1/8". You know, wouldn't you just round that off and bring it back 1/8 of an inch or something, or maybe go out to 1/2 an inch or something like that? It's just same with the tubes. You know, there's 23 tubes. They're 1 3/4" outside diameter, and they're 3'11" 1/4" inches long. It's just, you know, wouldn't you go 3'11" 1/2" or something like that? Just, you know, it's just crazy, some of the measurements, but you know, it's just the way they did things, and you discover these little things as you go along, and it shows you everything you need. The layout of the stays, you know, they're 4-inch centres, 7/8 stays, 7/8 diameter stays, all that sort of stuff, all the relevant information that you need. You know, just an absolute wealth of knowledge that you got right in front of you here. And as Peter pointed out before, it's a proper drawing. It's done by hand. Yeah, there was no CAD back in the day. The only CAD was what you had in your head. And of course, a lot of these drawings would have been copied over from older drawings, or the design slightly changed or improved over time. The number of drawings I have, for instance, as you can see there, boiler for Class T3 engines, and that's what this is a T3B road roller. There was the Tiger tractor, which basically the same engine, same boiler, just with tractor wheels on it instead of rolls. It's all that sort of stuff. This is dated September 1st, 1924. There is earlier drawings out there, and there's also a few older drawings. And the good thing with what I've found with Fowler's is that a lot of the stuff is very much the same. What you see on one engine is almost identical to the other, even if it's a bigger engine. So if you take Emma's roller, a lot of the parts, some, not all, are very much the same, just slightly bigger in size. So they just scaled things up and scaled them down as required. So there's certainly a lot of good aspects with these. However, like every design, it's not perfect, but for the job they did, and I'm sure that the gentlemen and apprentices that built these things could not have foreseen that these would still be around some 100 years later, which you know, is pretty amazing when you think about it. Yeah, the metallurgy at the time, the metal, you know, is nowhere near today's standards, but it's, you know, this engine, and like many others, sat in parks with no protection for years and years, and they've held up well, and they've stood the test of time. And hopefully, when I, you know, 95. Hopefully this thing will last another 95 years, if not 100. Somebody else will be driving this, you know, when I'm pushing my Zimmer frame around or something like that. So anyway, well, that's about it, guys. I've been talking long enough. We're almost, I haven't got quite gone the hour mark, but we've gone over the 45-minute mark. There's still 11 of you watching here at the moment. I'd just like to say thank you very much for the support. I have some regulars that come in and support what I do here. They've helped me get to where I am today. So, yeah, just cheers, everyone. Thanks a lot, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye for now. Whistle.